Okay, guys, I think we have enough people to start. So, as I said the other time, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. We're doing networking, which is AWS networking. But we want to also use it to introduce ourselves and get ourselves familiar with Terraform. We will get into Terraform deep dive. We'll probably sit the Terraform exam, all of us, one exam that we will sit together. Where everybody will register for it and go and sit it. But I feel like it's a good idea to use Terraform to teach AWS networking. So that's that. I'm trying to find a way to document this, okay? So I'm going to have a PPT, a Google PPT. I'm not a very good at PPT person. That one, you can actually if you bet me on PPT, you will definitely win. They call it Google what? Google PPT. It's called presentation. Okay. Okay. So we are going to go into Terraform. I have somehow shown you what it is. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go into it deep a little bit, understand what is going on, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Anybody has any questions? Let me know, or forever hold your peace. All right, let me share my screen. Entire screen, and this is the PPT here. Okay. Can you see my screen? Who here knows what Terraform is?
We can see it.
Who here knows what Terraform is?
I do.
Yeah, same here.
Jesse?
Yes. Yeah, so I hear about Terraform a lot. Never used it, but I understand it's a platform for creating infrastructure as code in the cloud so that it's declarative. And just like in cloud formation, and is it ARM templates in Azure? So for creating infrastructure as code helps with consistency in producing environments, and if there's an issue, you only focus on the Terraform code. It helps for portability as well, and it's not focused on any specific environment. You can use it in Azure, AWS, Google, and any clouds, and it just creates consistency across wherever you are, ensuring that what you want is what you get.
You're correct. So exactly what he said, yeah. So Terraform is a tool, a program, and I really want people to understand that this is a program. Even though when you go to the terminal, you are typing Terraform, as we did Linux, you know that anything that I type here is a program that has been installed. So if I type CD is a program that is used to change directories. Okay, it's a program. MKDIR is also its own program. It's a software that someone has written called mkdir, and when you type it, you are calling that software. And in Linux, the software requires that, okay, you want me to create a folder. It's for creating folder. What is the name of the folder? So it has its own parameters and so on and so forth. Okay. Argument. Git is a program that you have to install on Linux. Microsoft Word is a program, but it's a GUI, graphical user interface, that you install on Windows, and then you can use it to manage Word documents. Okay. PowerPoint is a program. All of these are programs. Terraform is also a program. Okay. So you have to install it on your machine. And then you have to learn how to use it the same way you have to learn how to use Excel, you have to learn how to use Microsoft Word or any other program that is there. Okay. Now, Terraform this program is actually used for not only, but including provisioning cloud infrastructure. Okay. So you can also use it for multi-cloud management, environment consistency. It can also be used to provision Linux VMwares, configuring Linux resources, okay, and resource management on Linux. So you can use it to manage your file system, network configuration on your Linux environment, and you can even use it to manage your application changes across multiple environments. Okay, so Terraform is a very good tool that is used. It's an open source infrastructure as a code tool developed by HashiCorp. Okay, their name is HashiCorp. So let me put this in the PowerPoint, and then we can all have a look. Okay, let me bring the PowerPoint. So, and then we can all read and understand what Terraform is. Yeah. Guys, this is PowerPoint. So bear with me. What's going on? Can't paste.
And I think Control V will be better than the paste of the declaration.
It doesn't even work.
Oh.
Insert text box. Okay. Copy. Paste. Okay. So this is it. Yeah. And you can just read it. Terraform is an open source infrastructure as a code tool developed by HashiCorp. This is it's an open source. It's free to use. Free. And this is the team, the name of the team that works on it, or the company. It allows you to define, manage your infrastructure using a high-level configuration. They call it the language. It's a, you know what a language is? Python is a programming language. Groovy, C++, Java, all of those. They have also done their own language called, obviously, the name of the company, configuration language. Yeah, HCL. And with Terraform, you can automate the deployment, scaling, and management of infrastructure across various cloud providers, including AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and others, as well as on-premises systems like your Linux that I was talking about. All right? Does it make sense?
Hope you. What do they mean by infrastructure as a code?
Okay, so infrastructure. When I say infrastructure on AWS, what do you understand by it?
So more like your
Yeah.
VPC and that EC2 and all that.
Anything. Even the user you created for me is an infrastructure.
Okay.
Anything, VPC, anything on AWS. It's your infrastructure. Yeah. Because we've got security, networking, all of those. They are all infrastructure. Because if you're creating 3 million users, every day you're going to go there and look at it and make changes, password changes. You need to automate some of these things. But if you have the whole configuration as a code, like what we did, we have a code, the bash script that creates our what's it called, EC2. Okay, that means that the code, the infrastructure that you're creating on AWS, you've defined it in a code form. Yeah, exactly. But for a bash script, it doesn't know anything about that infrastructure that the bash script just created, which is the EC2 that it created. It connected to it and then downloaded some AWS, some Git repository, and deployed your application on the machine. That bash script is as dumb as basically whatever is in AWS. It doesn't know about it. When you finish creating it, that's him done. With this one, it keeps the state. It's like it knows what he has created on AWS or any cloud environment, and it can manage it for you. Yeah. So if you create an EC2, Terraform knows that the EC2 was created with these parameters, this information. It was called this, and it's sitting in this AWS account. It knows about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it will. That's the only difference. It will create the resource, and it will keep the state of the resource in its own documentation somewhere. It knows. So when it goes back to the resource that it was created, it can identify changes, it can identify things and say, the state of the resource has changed. Okay. So, yeah, please ask questions. Any question? Don't, we need to understand what this tool is all about. Okay. So, ask questions. Right.
So it's more like a bash script that gives you live updates, something like that.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Yes and no. But as we go on, you understand a bit more. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's like a script that, and that's why it says that it's infrastructure as a code. So you write a code, okay, but it's going to manage the infrastructure. So if I make changes in the code, and I apply it, the changes will apply will be applied in the infrastructure in AWS, yeah, or Google Cloud or whatever. All right. So it uses the declarative approach. It also has the provider support, state management, plan and apply workflow. Okay, so if I put this here and then say this, I can then so declarative language, you can declare. So Terraform itself is one of this. Is yeah, it has a provider support, so any cloud infrastructure, it will have the support for that one. I'm trying to go down with yeah. It has state management. Okay, it will manage the state of the infrastructure. Yeah, and it has a plan and apply workflow. So basically, when you plan, it helps you to review the changes or what the state is. Okay, and it also has resource dependencies. And you can also reuse modules. Okay, reuse modules. There's a lot in Terraform, and but this will help us to understand all of it. Okay, so if I can create a module of VPC, and then whenever I want to create any VPC, I'll use that module to create a new VPC. All I have to do is to change the name and the CIDR block here and there. So I create a module. I don't have to always write the code again. So say, okay, I'm going to create a new VPC. Let me use this module, this VPC module that I've already created, and then I run it, and voila, it creates a new VPC for me. Okay. All right. Common use cases are provision cloud infrastructure, multi-cloud management, and environment consistency. Okay. So if I want to create a dev environment and a production environment and staging environment, and I want them to look exactly the same, I can use Terraform to create multiple environments for these purposes. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Cool. Let's go on. Let's copy this and paste. Now we're going to do the Terraform. One thing is the workflow. Okay. Sorry, guys, that I'm doing this. I've got some sort of okay. So the first thing is to install Terraform. Has anybody installed Terraform on their machine before?
Yeah, I do. I did.
Okay. Jesse, do you have any Cloud9 environment?
No, I don't.
Okay. So if you go to your AWS, we are going to create one EC2, a very small one. That EC2 needs to be stopped and started whenever you're not using it. You stop it when you're using it, you start it when you're not using it. Okay. Well, you know what I mean. That's what Cloud9 was doing. Whenever we need it, it will start. And then when we don't need it, it will literally die. It might cost you a couple of dollars a month, depending on if you're able to stop and start it. Okay. So when you finish using it, just like when you're leaving your house, you need to close the door. And in AWS, if you forget to close the door, the thief will be AWS who will steal your money. So we need to learn how to use these resources and terminate or stop them. Else you'll be paying like I'm going to have to pay $20 this month for no reason. Okay. So those who don't have AWS Cloud9, we are going to use a simple Ubuntu EC2 that will have Linux installed, and we will use it as your workstation. If you already have Cloud9, use it until we find another alternative. The only difference is with Cloud9, if the machine is inactive for 30 minutes configurable, you can configure this time, then the machine stopped itself. Okay. So with Cloud9, if I leave it, it will stop itself. But for this machine we are going to buy, it will not do that. So if you log in into your AWS, and as I said, we are always going to use North Virginia. So log in into your AWS. Four 1451512. Was it this one that my Cloud9 worked? I think it was this one, wasn't it? So let's install it. It's easy. Let me see. North Virginia. Okay, it's not this account actually. Yeah, okay. So it's this account that I've been using. I have a Cloud9 here. I will, I'll take you through creating an EC2. We've all done it before. So let's have this step to create an EC2. Okay. In North Virginia, you will search for EC2 and go there. I think this is where we created the VPC as well. But we never
even those of us who have the Cloud9.
No. If you have a Cloud9, leave it. So I don't have any running, which is cool. My workstation is there, it's stopped. So this is the Cloud9 EC2. That's what happens when you're not using it, it stops itself. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to launch an EC2 and we're going to give it a name. My work station. It's going to be a workstation. Yeah. Copy this because we're going to need it. And then you are using Ubuntu 24. Everything will be the same. And make sure this one says free tier eligible. Okay. We will create a new key pair. And this is where you put the name that we just copied. Okay. We'll choose the ED25519 and you just create the key pair. What will happen is AWS will obviously download the key pair here and leave everything as default. Okay. Everything default. And then launch the machine. Now, if you're using Windows, you're going to have to also, if you don't have Linux on Windows, you're going to have to also use Patty. Jesse, are you using Windows?
Yes.
Are you able to have Ubuntu on Windows? Or
yes,
you have Ubuntu on Windows, which is cool.
Yeah, not on this one I'm running, but yeah, the workstation, is it what do you call it now? The Linux, yeah, I do. I do have another system I can log into. It's got Linux on it. Windows on Linux. I have another Linux machine I could even log onto.
Yeah.
Fully Linux. We're
Is
going
it
to run it.
But do you have,
WSL?
Sorry?
Yeah, is it WSL that you're talking about?
Windows Substation for Linux. Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, if you have that, use that one. Else you have to configure Windows to be able to SSH using PuTTY.
Okay.
So all you need is this here. This here. That's all you need.
I don't have PuTTY on this one I'm running.
You have
Installed.
PuTTY.
Yes.
You already have PuTTY.
Yes, installed. Yes. I've
You
installed
know
it.
how to use PuTTY, yeah? I don't want to deep dive or teach PuTTY.
I can sort it out later. Can't remember how to do it exactly, but I've done it a few times. But that's why I got the PuTTY. I will do it. PuTTY and PuTTY Gen, isn't it? But
Yeah,
I will
something
do
like
it.
that. But if you have your other laptop, you can
Okay.
also use it. You don't need to join with that laptop. It will be on the side, and then that will be where you're working from. Yeah.
Let me turn it on now.
Yeah. Yeah, PuTTY. Windows people here can show how to use PuTTY. And Chris, are you using Windows or Linux?
I think PuTTY, you go to connections.
I'm using Windows.
So did you use PuTTY or they're using the terminal on Windows, Linux terminal?
I'm using Cloud9.
Oh yeah, you're using Cloud9. Okay. Right. So this is the machine. We need to connect to the machine. That's what we're going to use from our own laptop. We need to connect to this machine. There is another way of connecting, but that will mean that I have to also help you configure it. So if you select the machine, you can actually connect here. Okay. There's this session manager that you can connect, but
Sorry, just question.
Yeah.
The keypad, did you say PEM or PPK?
PEM.
Okay.
And select the second one, which is the ED2
5519.
Yeah. So we could connect here, but I need to add
OP, do we need to create the EC2 and Cloud9 at the same time? Or if you have one, it's okay.
If you have one, it's okay, because those who joined and created their AWS has stopped using Cloud9. So if you create a new AWS account, you can't spin up a Cloud9 environment.
Oh, okay.
So we are trying to find another way of getting a workstation, a Linux workstation. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So all you need to do is to get to this terminal, go to where you downloaded it, which is CD downloads, and then obviously find the file. The name of the file, if you come to connect SSH client, is going to be there. I copy this and I change the mod of the file. And then from this same location, I copy this SSH command. And I can connect to the machine that I've just created. Okay. And voila, I'm in the machine in AWS. There. Okay. So I've been able to connect to the AWS machine, which is the workstation in AWS. If I clear, it's more or less a Linux machine. So we need to get to this level where you are on the machine. Or you can get on your Cloud9 as soon as possible. Yeah. On your Cloud9 or your workstation, Jesse, are you? If we need to, let me know if you are getting here.
Not yet. I wish we had the commands up again.
Oh yeah, let me. So the commands if you get to this stage on your workstation, your laptop, you need to get to this terminal. Yeah. What you do is you go to the machine in AWS. So you go to instances. Yeah.
Yeah.
You select the machine, which is my workstation that is running.
Yeah.
And then you go to connect.
Okay.
You click connect. There will be 4 tabs: EC2 Instance Connect, Session Manager, SSH Client, EC2 Serial Console. We can configure all of these. There are so many ways that you can connect to this machine, but you have to do some things to it and so on and so forth, but which is not the scope of this. So go to SSH Client, and then you copy the first one, line 3. Number 3, you copy this.
All right.
And where you downloaded the file, you need to run this command there.
All right.
Okay. So wherever the file was downloaded onto your machine, running it from the terminal, the Ubuntu terminal. Okay.
Okay.
And then when you finish, you go to the example part and copy this. And that will help you to connect. You can also share your screen and let's see.
All right. I have to log into the other machine and then I'm still logging in.
No. You are on another machine. Okay.
I'm trying to, the one that has the Windows substation for Linux. I want to click on now.
Yeah.
Oh, just a moment. Sorry, this will take me.
Okay, while Jesse's trying to get his Linux to try and connect, let us install Terraform. Okay, and then we wait for him. We'll go back to it when he joins. Okay, so this is my machine. So take this as your Cloud9, guys. Yeah, you need a terminal in your Cloud9 like this. So those using Cloud9, you need a terminal. Open a terminal like this. The first thing you do on any either new or is best practice is to update and upgrade your system. Okay, so this machine that was just created, it's using an image that has been sitting there for God knows when. Okay, so we need to update and upgrade its dependencies. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the chat or WhatsApp. I'll put it in the WhatsApp chat group. So the command to do that is this. So we are upgrading and updating the system packages. Okay, and that's that command there. So then you run that. It will take its time to go to the internet, pull some repositories, update systems, upgrade systems, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I have added that command into the chat. Anthony, are you using Cloud9 or you're using a new Ubuntu?
Actually, I'm having issues with my laptop, so today I'm following with my phone. But I have it all set up. That's why I dropped yesterday. My laptop froze. So yeah, I need to get it sorted as soon as possible.
Okay. So this Linux environment has been updated and upgraded. Okay. Everything on there now will be as new as the last time it was developed or deployed or whatever. Okay. After that, we are then going to install some common dependencies. Okay. What dependencies are other programs, other systems that Terraform will require before you can actually use Terraform. Okay. So I'll put that in the code and we'll install it. It didn't take long. Okay, so I'll put that here too. And then we'll then download a key, GPG key. So wherever Terraform is sitting, which is HashiCorp.com app, that's where the repository, we are going to download a key. Remember, without the key, you can't go to people's systems and download the application. So we need the apt key. Okay. So we download it on this machine. And the key is there. All right. I've added that there. And then we add the repository, which is their main repository. Unable to handle repository shortcut. No, what's this? 1 minute. Okay, we have to download the binary instead.
OP.
Yeah.
So when I try to run the sudo apt -ygn upg software properties, I got an error, unable to locate package software properties common curl.
Did you update and upgrade the system? Did it work?
Yes, I updated and upgraded. No VM getter running outside, blah 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 blah. Scanning. I did all that.
And this didn't work.
No.
Okay, let me have a look. Let me go to Cloud9 and have a quick look. What's going on there? Cloud9 is probably using the old Ubuntu version. Okay, so this is the terminal. Let me run the commands one by one. So this is the first one, which is
Ben, are you using Mac?
sorry?
Are you using MacBook?
No.
Okay. With my MacBook, so I use iTerm. I think maybe if someone wants to try that one, to that Good.
Is anybody using Mac here today? They're all different.
Without Windows. Okay, fine.
Yeah, Windows and Linux, Ubuntu. So this is where you got to. Yeah, it seems to be have worked. Chris,
I'm running it.
did you copy it properly? Right, you need support. You're not here to collect the support. I will move on. The next command is this. I'm copying from WhatsApp. So okay, downloaded the key. And the next one is this, which we are downloading the yep. Oh, says not found. Okay, so error 44 not found. Awaiting. Right. So we don't have Snap. We don't have JQ installed. So we need to install JQ first. So this machine doesn't have JQ installed. So you need to install JQ first. You know JQ, we've used JQ before, but I'm 100% sure we installed JQ. So that command needs another program to be able to work, which is, as you can see, it is here, JQ. So we need to install JQ, which is installing. And then we run the command again. And voila, it worked. Yeah. So if you need to install JQ, you need to install JQ. Yeah. Read errors. You read it from the top. The command JQ not found. As you can see, we are trying to use JSON query here, and we don't have JSON query installed. So you have to install JSON query before you can use it. That was the error. The next will be we need to extract.
MOP, please can you drop the code for the JQ to install the JQ? Sudo snap.
Yeah, sudo snap install JQ. You want me to copy and paste for you, eh? You're also lazy like me. Don't like typing. Okay. And then the last one, the next one is when we download the file, the binary file, we downloaded it, it's like the installation file, it's zipped. So you need to unzip it. Yeah.
Benny, you're using Snap and apt interchangeably.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can use Snap to install JQ. You can use apt to install JQ. So you can use both, either Snap or apt. There are two. Both of them are two package management systems on Linux, on Ubuntu. Normally we use apt, but not everything you can use apt for. Okay.
Yeah.
There's another one, which if you want to install Windows-like systems on Linux, I think it's Brew. Or Brew.
Wine.
Wine, yeah, wine. You can use wine as well. And then when you finish, you've unpacked it, unzipped it, everything is done. You need to then move the Terraform code to your local bin. Yeah. No such file.
You did NV.
Yeah.
You did N. Oh, it's move or NV. Oh, it's move.
Yeah, it's move.
Oh, okay.
Did I unzip it? Oh, so we installed unzip, but we haven't unzipped it. So we didn't unzip it. We just installed unzip. Now we need to unzip the. Okay. So now the move will work. Voila. That's it. We finished. We installed it. So after unzip, you then have to run this command. And then after you unzip it, then you move it to your local bin. And then voila, you have installed Terraform. There are so many other ways to install Terraform, guys. You can check if Terraform is installed by checking what version it is. So you call the program again with a parameter, a flag -v, and if it's installed, it will tell you what the version of Terraform is. Okay. So this is it. We have installed Terraform on our Linux. Let me continue putting it on the machine that I created as well. So where did I get to? So this is the other machine. I ran this one, which is the get. Okay, that was what. Yeah, and then I didn't need to install JQ here because JQ was already installed. So I'm 100% sure new Linux machines, when you buy it from AWS, we get JQ unzip. It's all installed. So let me see. I don't need to install unzip again. Let's see if unzip will be there. I'm skipping the unzip command. Oh, unzip is not found. So I need to install unzip. It had JQ, didn't have unzip. And I unzip it, and then I move it to the user local bin.
MOP, please, can you increase the font size of the terminal? Nice one.
And then I will then check the version. Voila. So this is how you install Terraform on a Linux machine. So if Jesse, you've already been able to get to this stage, well done.
Not at all. This whole thing has been almost a nightmare for me.
We're using Windows, isn't it? Were you able to connect to the machine in AWS?
I haven't connected. I'm still logging into the other one. All my passwords are just logging into AWS on that machine to sort things out.
All right. We can also look at something. So let me see. In AWS, there's so the machine that we've created in AWS, which is this one. Go to EC2. Let's find a way to, in North Virginia, there should be 2 machines running. Yeah. So we could connect to the machine using this, but we have to do 1 or 2 things, okay? One thing is we need to attach a role to the machine. So if you go to security, the machine needs a role, okay? Oh, it has a role. No, it doesn't have a role. So this is where, as I was saying, you need the machine to do things for you. You need to create a role and give it to the machine, because currently this machine cannot do anything in AWS for you. So you go to Identity Access Management. And if you have any role there already, so these are the roles. There's not a lot. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll create a role and call it my workstation role. Yeah. And then we give that role enough permissions to do a lot of things. So we'll say AWS EC2. We're using this for an EC2 machine, and we're just going to allow it to do some things on our behalf. And we're going to give it admin. It's not good, but let's give it admin because it's you. You're going to use this and then call the role this. Oh, no, not that. My workstation, okay? And then create a role. So this role is now created, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach this role to the machine, okay? So we go to Actions, Security, Modify IAM role, and you select one. The one we just created was this one. We give it to the machine. So the new machine that we have created, we have given it a role that has a permission to do almost everything on AWS. Everything. Okay. Everything.
Please, are we supposed to do all that?
No. If you have Cloud9, no. With this, you can actually use the connect here, I think. The SSM agent wasn't able to connect to the system manager endpoint to register itself with your service. Let's restart this machine and see. Basically, to use the connect from here, there are things that you should be able to do. So let's reboot this machine. Or let's stop it. And then we start it back. Instead of Jesse having to use Windows to connect to the machine, we are trying to find another way to connect from the browser. Okay. And there's SSM. Let me actually go to SSM. SSM, Systems Manager. Two one F. Which one is 21F? Okay, let's start it again. So what we're doing today is getting our systems ready to be able to even use Terraform. Let's say connect, hopefully still not working. So systems manager endpoint to register itself with this service. Let's see what will happen here. Connect your instance with SSH. The bash was endpoint. Sessions are secured using keys. You can log in, log sessions. Hey, so now we can connect. All we had to do was restart the machine and give it the necessary permissions to be able to use Session Manager. So if you're still struggling, Jesse,
Yes.
you can do this, and then you can connect from here. So look.
Okay. I'm just on my shared. Can I share my screen now? We know where to continue.
Yeah.
All right. So this is
And it gives you a bash shell that you can run from there.
window.
So this is almost the same as me connecting with SSH.
Okay. So this is where I am.
I can see your screen.
Sure. Oh, I hope I'm getting that.
Okay. So which is the machine that you created?
Is this? Let me see the one you ever. No, that's not where I am.
I'm seeing VPC. I'm seeing VPC.
Sorry. Share entire screen. This one.
Okay. Can you zoom in a little bit?
Zoom. Hey, that's the problem now. Wait till.
Okay, it's okay. We'll find a way. So in the machine, go to AWS IAM. So search at the top. Yeah, IAM. And then create a role. Click on roles. And create a role, a new role.
What do I call it?
On the left. So on the left, you see the yellow button on the right. Sorry, on the right. Select use case, come down into use case, and select EC2 at the top, and leave everything it is. Go to next, and then select admin, the first one. No, you clicked it, select it. Go back to the next page. There's another page. There's another tab on your left. So go to the next tab. No. Tab at the top. Browser tab. Browser.
This
so
is
close this one. Close this one. Close this one. Yeah. Now select it. No. Yeah. The box on the top. The box. Yeah. Select that one, and then scroll down. Go to next. And this is where you put the name. So put it my workstation role. So at the top, role name. It has to be one word. My workstation role.
I'll call it cloud.
Yeah. Yeah. And then create.
Retro.
Yeah. Now let's go to the machine.
EC2. Instances.
In fact, stop the machine.
Okay.
So click, go to state, stop. Yeah. Okay, while it's stopping, you can go to actions again. Go to security. Okay, so I think you can't change IAM role when the machine is stopped. Wait, let's
Can I download from this place the SSH key again? Because now the system.
The key, no, you can't download the key again. Yeah, you can't download the key again.
Can create a new key then.
You can create a new key, but you probably will have to create a new server.
Okay.
So you can delete this one and create a new one if you want.
Instances.
Yeah.
Just my cloud workstation is that.
Yeah, create a new one.
Launch. This one that I started. This one. Have I ever downloaded the key somewhere? Instance type EC2 dashboard. Instances. Launch instance.
Yeah.
My cloud. Okay, I just call it my work.
Yeah, your workstation. Yeah, you're already in the cloud. So if you call something my cloud, then
my workstation.
Yeah, come to Ubuntu.
Yeah, Ubuntu.
Free tier eligible. Now let's add the security group. Okay, so go down. Okay, so we used free tier eligible. Go down. The key, you can create a new key.
My workstation, create keeper.
Okay, now go to network. We're not going to do any networking. Go down. Go down again. Leave everything. Add volume. No. Go to advanced. Yeah. And then wait 1 minute. You go down again. Instance profile. Where it says instance profile. Yeah. Select. And then my cloud workstation role, add it. And now you can create.
That's launch instance. Yeah. Okay, so that should be running now.
Yeah. So let me show you this way. So select it. It's initializing. When it finishes, we can just connect from the console. Okay. Yeah, you can click the connect button, and session manager is still installing these things. So wait a little bit. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you have the Linux terminal open, Yeah. So go to your downloads folder.
Mhm.
You can go, it's Windows, isn't it?
This is the Linux. it is Windows, yes.
Yeah.
You
So
have to go through mount.
go to Windows, go to your Windows and move it somewhere. So go here and move it to the folder that you were able to access. Yeah, that's sales whatever folder. So copy it and move it there.
Users.
Uh-huh.
New folder. Just got it. DevOps. Put it here. Paste.
Yeah. Now if you go there, you should be able to find it, I think.
Software success. CD.
I think it's in home. So you need to
CD. Home.
/home, I think. Yeah. Oh, is this that folder though?
I think it uses different storage from the computer if it is Windows.
Let's see. CD. Where is even my keyboard isn't.
But if you do /mount, you will be in that disk so that you can do. No. MNT, not mount, like a full. Oh, okay.
CD. CD/home. Home. No, CD.
But you can create a file here and then you copy the content of that file and you paste it.
You can also do it that way, yeah.
Sorry, what's going on? CD/downloads. Why can't I go from here?
No, I've used Windows before. You can't connect to that one through this Windows subsystem. I mean Linux subsystem.
Okay, so thought I've done this before, to be honest. Case for reason, where am I now? I should be in my.
I can't really see. Anyway, before we'll play around with it. Let's click on Session Manager again. Let's see something.
Okay, Session Manager.
Now you can connect. It's literally you're in the machine now. Okay. That's another way of getting there, but you're not connecting through your SSH portal, but you're here. Yeah. So just go into it, click, and let's see the cursor. Click on it. Now type bash. Enter. That's it. You're in. So you can run the commands from here the same way we are running our commands. Yeah.
Okay, they're in the WhatsApp, isn't it?
Yeah, they're in the WhatsApp. Yeah.
All right.
So run them quickly. I'm making a cup of tea, and then when you finish, guys, help him install Terraform, and then we will do one or two. We're not going to do too much, and then call it a day.
Okay. So I'm just looking at it. Very first command is update. apt update and sudo apt right.
When I wake up with the fact that my nose gets blocked, so many times you don't care. Now you're feeling it.
What is this man?
Because now Florence is not sure. Florence is
Mhm.
at the back. When they all get a cold.
Lemon sip, please.
Lemon sip. Don't know what that is.
Lemon sip. It is lemon sip.
What? Can you stop putting your shoes in the cupboard then?
Okay. Where are you going?
Yeah, then.
Who's
Yeah,
in it?
do a shower or anything. I can't believe this.
Wait, have you gone from?
Yeah.
So you're gonna go tip up.
I see that text to send her.
Oh, Jesse, it's MNT. MNT.
There you go. Sons,
It's only 8 o'clock.
see the MNT. The MNT.
Yeah, but there is that forward slash. Why is it not working now?
Oh, you're still forcing yourself with this one.
We're just waiting for this one.
Oh, it worked. It
That's
worked.
Why
It
this is
actually
working?
worked.
What did you say?
Even that one worked.
Sudo apt, yeah, I've seen it. Install
it's amazing.
-y is a GNU-PG software properties common call
There's a cupboard here. What are you doing?
GNU-PG.
So there's no lemon sip in this house.
I said look by your desk.
All right, so that's installed.
You know.
No, hello. Yeah, I'm coming in a minute. I'll get you.
You're up.
No.
GPG.
Oh, you can't copy paste.
The strings are so deep inside. It won't work.
Okay.
When I finish the class, I will go sort all that out so that all my shares are working.
Yeah.
I've not used this system for a long time.
Have you finished installing Terraform?
The archive.
Oh, you're typing it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This system you can't create no such file.
Typing is going to cause a lot of
Yeah. I see.
Okay, you can't use WhatsApp on this system. Let's copy the thing and put it in this chat for him. Copy it, put it in this chat.
Don't worry. I'll get it.
Guys, copy it from WhatsApp and put it in this chat. There's a chat here.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Yeah.
It's from which one? The okay.
Sorry,
Let me do
I'll get that.
Yeah, it is on the chat, the first one.
Don't worry, I'll get that out.
I think that way we will.
Good. Okay, let me see what's okay. This will work. I know what the problem is here. Web. Just continue. I will get this sorted. Abinad.
So yeah, I've put them in the chat of this meeting. You can get it?
No, it's not the chat. That's the issue now. It's
Oh.
Yeah,
the chat
because
of-
now you should be able to copy from this chat.
okay. You should just hold on a moment for me. I'm going to get a different screen now. The way I am set up on this computer, a lot of things in the background aren't just working. I have what the screen you are seeing now is a remote session into VMware, and in VMware it's another system deep inside. So copy and paste over 3 or 4 depths is not working.
Right, there you go then. Okay. Okay.
I'll just in a moment get this. Just give me.
Yeah.
I'll just sort this out.
Okay. We're not going to do more. All you have to do is to get what's it called installed. Okay.
Okay, let's see the web link devices.
All right. Nice. So we have managed to install Terraform. So if I type Terraform in my terminal, Terraform -v, it tells me the version of Terraform. It's on the machine. Okay. I'm using SSM to do this. I can actually change to Ubuntu, use sudo Ubuntu as well. CD, and it's exactly the same as when I SSH'd. Boom. But this is using HTTPS on the browser. Okay. Now we have Terraform installed. So we're going to go through Terraform itself. Okay. We know what Terraform is. We know why we should use Terraform. Now we're going to explain some things. Okay. So let's go to our PPT.
Sorry, I've just reloaded it somewhere else.
You managed?
Sorry to entire screen now. Share. So I just opened the screen again. I can copy now.
Okay.
This is.
You need to type bash.
And then paste this. That's it.
Yeah. And then the next one.
wget.
Yeah, with get
HTTPS.
Oh, you need to install a snap first. Snap install a JQ.
Snap.
Yeah, install JQ. You need sudo. Sudo snap install JQ.
Sudo JQ.
Okay. So now you can copy the wget command.
Wget. Is that the whole thing?
It needs to end with zip. Yeah. And now you
Permission denied.
What? Oh, you need sudo in front of it. So go up one. No. Okay, you can copy again. Okay, good. And now you need to install unzip. You need sudo again.
Okay.
Yeah, and move it. Terraform version.
Sudo.
No, just type Terraform version. Terraform Terraform -v. Just -v. One dash. And voila, it's there. You've installed Terraform on an EC2 running on AWS. Yeah,
Okay.
that's going to be your workstation.
Okay.
Let's continue. Okay. Okay, so Terraform. Now Terraform has a workflow, okay? Same way as Git had a workflow. Remember Git workflow? Who remembers Git workflow? Can someone say something? Git workflow. I hope you're not forgetting your Git. Paul.
You mean from git init, git add, git commit, git push?
Well done. Terraform also has its own workflow, and anyway, I'll leave it there. Someone can edit it. Terraform workflow is we have Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, Terraform destroy. Who can explain these flows, each one for me? Anthony,
Yeah.
can you explain these workflow stages for me, please?
Yeah. So whenever you want to use Terraform, the first step is to run Terraform init, and that initializes the backend and install all the necessary plugins, and also initializes the state. So the backend is the state where it's going to keep all the information on whatever infrastructure you are going to create. And then you do a Terraform plan. So Terraform plan tells you what you intend creating or what you want to do with Terraform. So plan is like a dry run, telling you or showing you what is Terraform is going to do for you. And then when you're happy with the plan, and then you run Terraform apply. So Terraform apply does the actual application. So that actually creates the infrastructure, whatever you want to create. So Terraform apply is the command that is used to create that. And then if you want to delete or we want to destroy whatever you have created, you use Terraform destroy to destroy the infrastructure, whatever you have created. So that is the flow. Actually, we also have another command, Terraform validate, that if you want to check whether the syntax is correct, you can use Terraform validate to check that one as well before you run the apply or the plan.
Anybody has any questions? Did it make sense?
Yeah, it does. And when I think Terraform validate is checking if the configuration and everything is fine.
Yeah, everything. So in it is you create a new folder. That's where you're going to put your Terraform files, the Terraform code into that folder. Everything about that project will be in a specific folder. Same way we did with Git. So that folder you start, you make there. So let's see. If you go back to our workstation, I can say I'm going to create a VPC. So I'll make it there. mkdir VPC module. I'll call it module for now. It's not a module, okay? And this is where I'm going to create my VPC, all right? So I'll change into that, and everything I do, I'll put it into this folder. Currently, the program, Terraform, doesn't know about this folder. It's just any folder. It's just any folder, like anything. Like when we did the Git, remember when you finish, Git as a program doesn't know about it. So this is the location of where you're going to put all your files. And then when you run the Terraform init, based on the files, the information in the files and what you want to do, Terraform will go to online and pull all the necessary information, necessary files, necessary programs, necessary plugins, okay? That will be needed to achieve whatever you got in your code. So you will tell Terraform that this code, I'm going to use AWS. This VPC will be an AWS, and that's the provider resource that you create. You tell Terraform that, okay, I'm going to use everything I'm going to do here will be on AWS. So you create a provider file, and you specify that provider is equal to AWS. Yeah, it will go and say, okay, then I'm going to use AWS plugins. I'm going to use AWS APIs. So it's to download everything AWS into your system. Okay, so that's the init. Also, we'll create all the temporary files, the state file, everything that is needed for the project will be downloaded and created into this folder. So currently, we don't have anything in there. So if I create a file, provider.tf. So every file that you create in Terraform will end with TF. Yeah, it's a Terraform file. Okay, so I created a file, provider.tf. I can open that file and add the provider code. Okay, add the provider code. So, and this is where sometimes I keep saying that you need to learn these things. So we are just saying provider. What are the other providers? So this is a resource that we're saying, okay, AWS provider is equal to a provider is equal to AWS. You can also have a local provider, which is on this machine. The provider, everything I want to do is this machine. Okay, in this block, everything that you do, it will be for this provider. Yeah. So what it will do is you can actually leave it. You can specify a lot of things in there. You can add the region, the default region you want to work into. So they also have documentation. You don't need to know all of it. You need to know that you need a provider for AWS. You need to specify. But they have documentation so what are the type of providers that they have? Okay. What is a provider? It will tell you a plugin that enables integration with an API. Okay. Okay. they have documentation where you can go and check. So they have a provider, Google, and in the provider, you can actually also add your credentials. How is Terraform going to connect to Google? Okay, you can add your credentials, you can add a region. So there's documentation about provider. Okay, so here there's a provider, AWS, they've added this. Okay, and so there are different types of providers. Let's say if you can also check Terraform types of providers. Oh. Terraform providers overview. My point is, you don't need to know all of it. You need to know that you need a provider. Okay. So here, providers Azure. Oh. And they got Azure provider. They got AWS provider. They got Google Cloud. They got Kubernetes. You can actually use this to manage Kubernetes clusters as well. They got Oracle cloud provider. They got providers for every known cloud providers there. Okay, so where's the PPT? Was I using Cloud9? No. Okay, so I can actually just leave this as it is, save this, and I'm just saying that, hey, Terraform, I'm going to use this AWS provider. Okay, and then I have to initialize it. I'm hoping that it will work. Terraform init. Okay, it says that invalid character. Okay, I think what has happened is I probably have got. Okay, so the inverted commas were wrong, copied and pasted, and it will tell you that I don't like this. I don't like this, what you've used. So let's initialize again. They're still crying about something.
Provider is not capital T, I think.
Is it not? We'll see. And now initialize. See, it will not even initialize if you don't have the correct code. Okay, it's just installing AWS. See, it says finding latest version of HashiCorp AWS because you told it I'm going to use this for AWS, and now it's installing AWS. Yeah, so installed HashiCorp AWS version. This signed by HashiCorp. Terraform has created a log file, and so now I only had one file in there, but after the init ls-alt, you need to check. You see, it's added a lot more hidden files, and these are what we are talking about. Is where it's keeping all this information, okay, and leaving it there. All right. So it's got a Terraform folder. If you go into the Terraform folder, cd.terraform ls-alt, we got providers. See, it installed the provider, just the provider. Hello. Right. Okay, cd providers. In there, it has register.terraform.io. You can actually cut this file. No, it's a CD. Mate, I don't want to go into all of it, but the point is, it has done all of that. And the explanation here is the provider has also successfully ensured you can begin working on Terraform, try running Terraform plan to see whatever. So that's the first one, initializes, okay? Now that I've initialized it, do I still need to initialize again every time? if I'm not adding any new item that has not been downloaded, I don't need to initialize. Yeah. If I'm not adding any new item, then I don't need to initialize. Okay. I can just continue from there onwards. But as you can see, it only downloaded the provider plugin. If I create a VPC now, will it download that? Will it need that to be downloaded? Or it will, what will happen? So, in the same file, we can continue working, okay? Or we can create each file, and it's best practice to create one file for each item or project. So if I'm going to use a VPC, I can create a new file and call it vpc.tf so that I can manage all VPCs from that file. The provider, anything I want to do about the provider, I can leave it in the provider.tf file, but I can actually have one file that has everything in it, okay? So do you have any questions? Good. Now, if I say I want to create a VPC, we've all created a VPC before, yeah? And the most important thing that you need on a basic is the CIDR block. Okay? Now, for Terraform, here, we need to explain what this line means. Who can explain what that line means to me?
I think that means
So Ben,
that
which one?
okay.
The top line 3.
Oh, okay. Sorry, someone was talking, so let him talk first.
Okay, Paul.
Yes, I was about to say, like, we're telling Terraform we're trying to create a VPC called main. Yeah.
Okay, so everything you create in AWS is a resource. You're creating a resource, okay? This here, this reserved keyword provider was telling it that I'm creating I'm specifying what provider. But here we're creating a VPC resource. So we need to tell Terraform that we are going to create resource, and what we are going to do is VPC. Now, this here should be what is specified. So you can't just create, you can't just put any name there. So you have to go to Terraform to go and find out Terraform AWS resources. Yeah. And they will have a list. So if you want to create a resource for VPC, they will tell you. Okay. So here you see we got a provider here. This is a VPC, a simple VPC. So what are some of the other resources? Let's see. A, B, C, D, E, EC2. No, this is EBS. So EC2 container, EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud. Yeah? So let's say we want to create a resource that is a resource that is from AWS IAM from instance. So let's create EC2 instance resource. Yeah. See, what we do is we say the resource that we want to create is EC2 instance. It has to be what is specified in this program. Okay. So you specify which resource you're creating. In here, we are creating a resource VPC, AWS VPC. Okay. Now, here, yeah, if I'm going to create, copy, paste. If I'm going to create 3 resources, one of them will be .1 one of them will be .2. If I'm going to create 3 of these resources, I need a logical or user-defined resource name, my own name. So I can call this main 1, main 2, main 3. In Terraform, what do you want to refer to this resource in? And it has to be unique. I can't actually have this 2 of this. I can't just say main 1. Terraform will say, no, you got a resource logical name which is conflicting. Okay, even though this is different, it's conflicting. Okay, so Terraform will not be happy about this. Okay, so we need here is the logical name. Logical name. It's not the name that you will see in AWS. This is the name that you will see in Terraform. Okay, Terraform will tell you that, oh, remember that resource that you created that you called it this. If you want to do specific task or perform actions on this resource, this is how you refer to the resource in my program. In Terraform, you will not see main 1 in AWS. Okay, so basically each resource you create, you tell it which resource and what name you're giving to this resource when it comes to Terraform itself. Okay, so if we save this, the question was, do you think I have to initialize again, or because I've added a resource, 3 resources, and there's a VPC resource, if I want to continue, do I have to initialize again? Let's see. So let's plan. Let's Terraform plan. Okay, so that's the workflow. We have initialized, we are planning, we want to say, but obviously I have to save this file. Even though I call the providers, I'm adding VPCs in there, which is not cool. But I want to also show you that you can also use the same file, and then we will separate it as well. Okay, so Terraform plan. Terraform knows that there's a resource, a VPC resource named main was already declared at this. I see name 1. See, we got the error. So this proves that Terraform will not allow you to name resources the same. So I have to make it name 2. Must be unique per type in each module. Okay. So I need to save it. Then I plan again. Let's see what will happen. Okay. The environment is running on low memory. So what happened here is Terraform said it's going to go and create 3 resources. So Terraform used the selected provider to generate the following execution plan. Resource actions are indicated with the following symbols: create. Okay, so when we apply, it will create this. It will create the following: AWS VPC main 1 will be created. Yeah. The CIDR will be this, but the rest you will know after. They will tell you after. Okay. Main 2 will also be created because you wanted to create 3. CIDR is this, and main 3. Well, main 2 and main 3. Okay. So it says in this plan, I will add 3 resources. I'm not going to change anything, and I'm not going to destroy anything. So this is what the plan does. Okay. The plan allows you to review, review the code, okay, the changes and everything. Any questions? All right. So we haven't specified which region we want to work in. If we run it and we didn't specify, where do you think Terraform will create these resources?
I think where the crowd noun is I mean the same region where the crowd noun is.
Well, yes and no. Basically, AWS has environment variables of default region already set in your system. When you install CLI and all that on your system,
Oh yeah.
you have a default region already set, and that's the default. So if you didn't specify a region, it will use that one. Let's find the environment variable on this. Check AWS default region on CLI. Yeah. And someone says AWS configure get default region. You sure? No. It's here. So what's the default region? Echo. It's a variable. We've all done variables before. Oh, that is not set. A variable is not set. Right, let's see. Let's see this command too. It's not set. It is there. But I can't find it. Right, let's apply and see what will happen.
OP.
Yeah.
I think if you use AWS configure get region.
You were not here. I just used it.
Well, I used the mine gave me US East 1.
Yeah, I just used it. AWS configure get region. It didn't give me anything. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. Terraform can cry and say, hey, you didn't tell me where to create it, or you just go and create it. So you see how we are creating 3 VPCs, but as a code, this is where the code thing was coming in. Okay. And I normally ask you, do you want to continue? This is with it. This is what we are going to do when you say yes. You say yes, I want to continue. And then it will go to AWS using the credentials you already have, and it will go and create these VPCs for you. See, the creation complete after 1 second. VPC this, VPC that. It created 3 VPCs in AWS VPC.main 3, 2, 1. It's created all of them based on the names we're giving it here, the logical names. But we didn't specify any region. Okay. So if you go to AWS, go to VPC. And if it's created in where the machine is sitting, like what's his name it said, then we have those VPCs. We have 5 VPCs, as you can see. There's 10.1, 10.2, and 10.0. Yeah. It just came and created the VPCs. Nothing. Did nothing. It didn't give it a name. Nothing. And if you look at the VPC IDs, 602, 804, 746. That's what it's put out here. 746, 804, 602. It gave you the VPC IDs. This is the VPC that I have created for you. These are the IDs. Okay. So Terraform, plan, and apply. Those are that. If I plan again, Terraform, what will happen? It will look at the state in AWS and look at whatever it knows about this resource and tell you if there's been any changes. And if there have been changes, this is the change, and so on and so forth. So this is you using the same code to say, hey, what's going on? It tells you that no change, your infrastructure matches the configuration. Terraform has compared your real infrastructure against your configuration and found no differences. So no changes are needed. You get it? This is what we talk about, infrastructure as a code. So this is the code of our current infrastructure on AWS. If I want to delete one, guess what? I'll just comment out this, save it, and if I plan, it will tell me that, oh, your infrastructure code has changed, your configuration has changed, and one of the resource that was on AWS seems it's no longer needed. So I will decide to delete it. Look, as you can see, it will destroy this because it's not there. Can't find it in your code, but I can see it in AWS. So I'm proposing to delete it. Yeah. Remember, it knows everything about the infrastructure. It knows the root table. It knows the security group. It knows the CIDR. It knows everything about the VPC ID. It knows everything because you've commented out the main. You don't want it anymore. This is what we're talking about, infrastructure as code. Whatever you do to the code will be applied. Okay, so I don't want the VPC anymore. So if I apply this, it will go ahead and delete this VPC and everything that is associated to it. Let's apply. It will ask you again, do you really want to continue with this? Okay, so it says after the plan, I'm going to add 0, I'm going to change 0, and I'm going to destroy 1. This is the one that I'm going to destroy, will be destroyed. Okay, and if I say yes, to go ahead and delete the resource in AWS. And all this while, I've not even gone to AWS. I'm managing the resources in AWS with code. Yeah. And if I go to AWS now, go to VPCs, one of them is gone. Gone. One of them is gone. Yeah. There was 5, now there's 3. Any questions? So these are the flows, the workflow you got. When you write the code, you plan it, you review it, and then you apply. What we can also do is to destroy everything. Okay, so we don't want anything anymore. So we just do Terraform destroy. Yeah. I don't want, and I can actually destroy just this resource or destroy all of it. If I didn't specify which one I want to destroy, it will destroy everything. But I can also specify from this command which resource, and this is where the logical name comes in play. I can actually say, okay, destroy the third one, the second one, copy, but I have to say dash target. Which one do I want to target? I want to target the first one. So the target resource I want you to destroy is the VPC main 1. I can destroy it and not remove the code, the thing from the code. Okay, so let's try it. So it's telling you that one is going to be destroyed, and this is the information about the one that will be destroyed. VPC main 1 will be destroyed. So remember, this is a logical name for Terraform. Okay, logical name for Terraform, and it will be the name you've given in your Terraform configuration for all the resources that you created, and it has to be unique. Resource target is in effect, so we are targeting one resource. You're creating a plan with the target option, which means that the results of this plan may not represent all of the changes, but then we are targeting one resource. Okay, and I say yes, and voila, it will go and delete it. But the thing is, it has deleted it, but it's still in the code. So if I plan, it will say that, oh, you have a block in your code, but there's no VPC created in AWS, so I will create it for you. It will create another one for you. So we've destroyed it. It's gone. If you go to AWS, you see that now there will be 3. One of them is gone again. Okay, so the 2 is still there. Yeah. If I plan again, if I say, okay, plan it, because I haven't commented on this code, it's still going to compare the code to the state in AWS, and it will say that, I know about this one is created, it's still there, but this one is not there. It's probably been deleted or something. So I'm going to create another VPC for you with this CIDR block. It will say that, see, will be created. Yeah. So the main 2 is there. Main 1 is not there. So I'm going to create another one for you. Yeah. But if I comment out main 1, then it will not create it. It will say, no, I'm not going to create it. There's nothing to create because your code is exactly the same as what is in AWS. So I'm not going to create it. Okay. You see? Says your infrastructure matches the configuration. There's nothing to do. This is what we're talking about, infrastructure as code. Just as code. All right. So in a nutshell, we discussed what Terraform is. We have managed to install Terraform on a Linux distribution. And we talked about Terraform workflow, where we obviously write the code. And the first thing that you do a plan to review. You can apply, you can destroy, and you can also validate. You have Terraform in it, and we know about providers. We know that if I remove this provider there from here, then it means that the code doesn't know what to do. Where should I go and create this? Is it in AWS or is it in Google Cloud or any? So you need to specify which provider. I can actually also specify provider local. If I specify provider local, I mean everything you're doing, do it on this machine for me. Or you can also specify local and say Terraform connect to a machine in AWS. You can give it all the machine and it will go and manage the files there for you. It can do things there for you. Also, we also talked about what this here means, that you specify a resource block and you say, I want to create a VPC, and you give it a logical name. So if I wanted to create an AWS EC2 instance, I'll change this and put instance there, which you can go and test as well. EC2 instance has its own parameters, so EC2 instance will not require CIDR block. Okay, VPC will require CIDR block, and Terraform has documentation as to each of them. Okay, so for VPC, if you want to create a VPC, they have the resources, everything you need, the parameters. So you need to specify availability zone. Some of them are optional, some of them are required. Okay, if you want to target, and this is the documentation for EC2. Okay, if I wanted to do a VPC, I can go to the VPC one. This is the provider. Everything that they have is there. So as you can see, this is the one that we used. Where is it? This one. Okay, this is the resource that we use, and as you can see, the basic is just creating it with this. So the CIDR block is required in AWS. You can't create a VPC without the CIDR block, so it's required. That's the basic. And you can also add tags. Okay, you can just start specifying instance tenancy, and all that information is here. Argument reference. So there's a CIDR block, tenancy, IP addressing, that information that this resource can be used. So here, the attribute reference will be when you finish creating it, what you can get out of it. So the ARN, the ID of the VPC can come out, and can get the tenancy, is it true or false, all of those things. Okay. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Good. So now that we've got an understanding of what Terraform is, we've installed it, we know the basics. We are going to actually create, next time we meet, a very complex VPC that comes with everything. Now, the best part of Terraform is obviously who is going to create 3 VPCs and copy and paste the code. No, you shouldn't be copying 3 VPCs and I copy and paste code and change this. No. How do we write the code so that it's first simple to read, easy, and not using repetitions? Okay. How do I make this a variable? A variable. Remember code. I make this a variable instead of actually writing a hard code. And if I want to use this resource here over and over to create 3 VPCs, and all I have to do is to specify in a variable somewhere what the IP is, and I can create multiple VPCs with one code. How do I do that? We're going to go ahead and learn Terraform and how to write the code itself. Okay. While we create a VPC, and obviously I'm going to explain to you each step. So currently the VPC we created a VPC, we created a subnet, and then we created route tables and we attached things to it. So here we can create a VPC. We can also create a route table. We can create internet gateway. We can create all sorts. Because if you go here, it's all there. Internet gateway, you can create it. You can create a route table, network route table, NAT gateway. This is a route table. So if I want to create a route table, I can use this resource block here and say resource route table, give it a name, and specify the VPC that I want this route table to sit, because in a basic, a route table needs a VPC to sit in, and you need to actually start putting routes in it and making changes to it. Okay, because you need to add a route to it, and this is the basic. Okay, how do I attach a VPC that is created by Terraform to, how do I attach a route table to a VPC? All of those things. We'll start learning all of that. Okay. On that note, I think we can call it a day. Normally it's meant to be 9 o'clock here, but it's 10. It's meant to be 10, but it's 9. We've done 2 hours. If you have any questions, we've got a WhatsApp group. You can ask questions there. Go and start watching videos. Go and start learning, understanding Terraform itself. But so far, this is the basics. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. See you next week.
See you, Benny.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Okay, bye.